yogis, it's time to do yoga with a chair again today, and we are going to focus on seated forward extensions using the chair. And so all you need today basically is a chair and maybe a set of blocks, but you have your props close by, I'm sure. And I'm going to start with the first pose, which is Adho Mukha Virasana, which is normally on the floor, the big toes together, the knees wide, and we stretch. Now, if there's issues with the knees, it's wonderful to be able to do it in the chair, also without issues of the knees. So let me show you. You sit with your legs wide enough for the body to pass through. Your feet will slightly be turned out, so not too wide, not too narrow. Find the right setup, and then you're going to extend your arms forwards and towards the wall, and you're going to crawl those fingers up the wall like spider fingers. So you're going to stretch and walk the fingers up the wall, walk the fingers up the wall, walk the fingers up the wall. Okay, so this is your turn. So make sure that you feel well seated on your two buttock bones. Your knees are wide enough. You can check for the body to move through, and the toes are slightly turned out. Don't have the feet too far forward or too far back. Be stable. Now from here, lifting the sides of the body, lift into the arms, lift the front of the body, back body. Inhale, and as you extend, you move towards the wall, and you move, walk your fingertips up the wall. Now as you walk them up the wall, the abdomen is contained to the spine, and your fingertips are crawling further and further up, and your ears are in line with your upper arms. You get an action of moving the front body up towards the chest, towards the chin, and the back body is still very well grounded, so the energy flows from the shoulders down to the buttock bones, which are firmly seated on the support. So get that stretch. Now think for yourself in the last few moments of this extension that you are moving the sides, the fronts, and the back of the body and extending that. Get that openness, get that stretch. Then inhale. As you exhale, you sit up, bring your hands towards your legs, feet together, and we stand up. So I'm just going to turn my chair around so that you can see the next pose from the side. Okay. So this time I don't sit with the feet wide. They are a little bit wider than hip width. And I'm going to use my blocks here to push them further forward, ears in line with upper arms and extending. Come out, we bring the blocks under the shoulders and we extend forwards and we sit up. So place yourself on your chair and feel the two buttock bones. Be on the two buttock bones, and the heels are underneath the knees, and the knees are slightly wider than the hips. You have got your two blocks in front of you. Now sit upright. Take the navel to the spine, abdomen in and up. Hands up with the inhalation into Utkatasana and stretch. Lift yourself out of your hips. Hinge from the hips. Place the hands directly underneath the shoulders with the fingers pointing forward, so don't grip your blocks. Now push on the blocks and just get that buoyancy in your chest. Extend the chest forwards. Make sure that you're pushing the ball mounds of the big toes firmly into the floor. Then you start walking the hands further forwards, and you can slide those blocks until the ears are in line with the upper arms. Take a few deeper breaths here, and as you continue to walk those hands further and further forward, you make sure that the abdomen is to the spine and that sternum bone, the breastbone, is moving forwards and the back body back. So you get that neutral extension in two directions. Take 3 fuller breaths. After the third breath, you bring your blocks in towards you, and you place your hands on your knees, on your thighs for a moment, and you sit upright. Bring the 2 feet together and you come out, and we're not going to use the blocks for the next position. So we're going to stand now in Tadasana, and from Tadasana, I am just going to show you, we're going to first of all do Uttanasana with the feet hip width apart, and I'm bringing the hands directly underneath the shoulders. So my feet are apart, hands under the shoulders, buttock bones, buttock flesh is lifting, abdomen to the spine and chest extending forwards. Okay, so we do together. Stand with your feet hip width apart, yogi feet, so it's slightly pigeon-toed. Be very aware of the ball mounts of the big toes, press into them. Find the ball mounts of the little toes, press into them, outer heel, inner heel, so you're well rounded. Lift your kneecaps, take your inner groins, inner thighs back, take your outer calves back. So that's a beautiful Tadasana. Get that action, take the buttock flesh towards the heels. From here, you take your hands up into Urdhva Hastasana stretch, lift. Can you stretch a little bit more? And then from here, hinge halfway, and then hands directly under the shoulder. Now you've got to adjust to make sure feet are underneath the hips and hands are directly underneath the shoulders. Extend your chest forwards, lift your buttocks, buttock bones are lifting, lift from the back of the knees all the way to the top of the buttock bones. And get that full extension, and then in the same moment the abdomen is contained to the spine and the chest is forward, the side ribs are forward. Shoulder blades are gliding down towards my buttocks. And you're not resting on your hands here, the hands should feel as if they're touching, but there's also a lift from there. And then from here, inhale, strong legs, hands up, Urdhva Hastasana, Namaskarasana, Tadasana. Now we're going to stay with the chair here, and we're going to do Ardha Uttanasana with the arms over the back rest, hands over the back rest. So just watch me here. I'm going to find the position where my feet are underneath my hips and my hands are extending forwards. Crown of the head to the space ahead of me, and then we're going to bend the knees, lift from the back of the knees to the buttocks, and slowly but surely open up the legs and keep on stretching forwards with the crown of the head. Okay, your turn. Feet hip width apart. First of all, just check your distance. Make sure that the feet are directly underneath the hips. So you want to make a sort of tabletop shape. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hinge from your hips. Place the hands on the back rest. The fingers are pointing forward, so you're not gripping, you are extending the fingers. Now bring the ears in line with the upper arm, so the hands are well spread. Once again, lift the inner legs, lift the buttock bones, take the abdomen to the spine. Now bend your legs slightly. And from the bent legs, I want you to feel the lift from the back of the knees to the top of the buttocks. Keep those buttocks lifted as you straighten the knees and the crown of the head still to the ceiling, and stay there for a few moments. Take a few deeper breaths, fuller breaths. Hands under the shoulders, look forwards, and then step towards the seat of the chair and come up. Now we're going to do Parshvottanasana again together. We've done Parshvottanasana many times in this past few weeks. And let me demonstrate, because this is a beautiful forward extension and the chair is very helpful here. Bring the chair close enough. Actually, let me change mine. Just like the previous pose. Extension, extension, and extension. So we're working on that forward extension. Okay, so you've got the chair in front of you with the back rest facing you. And you step back. Place the two hands on the hips, thumbs close to each other and chest open. Take your right foot, the toes are slightly and left foot forwards. Now, as we know by now, we aim to level the hips here. You have to really extend your inner back leg back. So the right hip comes forward, left hip back. Take the hands up, Urdhva Hastasana, lift both kneecaps and hinge back with the hands. And then from the hips extend the two sides of the body. Now you push that chair, ears aligned with upper arms. Level your two hips, abdomen to the spine, so you've got to take right hip forward, left hip back. Abdomen rolling from the right to the left. Maximum extension and openness in the body. You have to be firm on the 2 feet to get that stretch in the body. And then bend your left knee, step forwards. And for a moment breathe in Tadasana. And you step back. You might have to pull the chair a little bit closer. Tadasana. Hands on the hips. This time you take the left toes out slightly. Right foot forwards. The aim is to level the 2 hips here. And you take your hands up to the ceiling now. Stay there for a moment. Lift the right kneecaps. Take the inner left leg to the wall behind you. Left hip forward, right hip back. Slowly extending the 2 sides of the body. Hands on the back rest, full stretch and full extension here. Abdomen rolling from the left hip to the right bottom rib. Just find that little action here to lift that right hip slightly. Stretch, extend, breathe. Activate the legs. Get life in the body. Maximum openness, maximum stretch. And then from here, step your 2 feet forwards, inhale, and come up. Okay, turn the chair so that the seat is facing you. So you get to know also the fact that your chairs are so incredibly helpful. They've got all these different heights that we can play with. Okay, we repeat our Parshvottanasana, feet in Tadasana. Right toes out, left foot forwards. Be on the outer edge of your right foot as much as you are on the ball mount of your left foot. So both legs are working evenly and equally. Arms up. Inhale as you exhale, extend. Hands onto the seat of the chair. Now by now you know if you can't go lower, you put them on the backrest. Ears aligned with upper arms. Extend. Flat back. You've got to really think of rolling abdomen from right to left. And if you roll from your left foot from the little toe side to the big toe side, you also help that whole twisting action, stability action. And now from here, if you can put your hands on the bar of the chair or hold the 2 legs of the chair. If you can go onto your fingertips, you do so and you extend. Think of lengthening the front body. Last breath here, full release in this breath. And then step by step coming out of the pose and stepping forwards. Okay, so now we do the other side with the left foot. So we stand in Tadasana, left toe slightly out, so the left leg is the back leg. Right leg well forward. Hips level already now. Legs active. Inhale, stretch. Lift yourself out of your hips. Extend, extend, extend. Hands onto the right height for you. Stretch. Abdomen from left to right. Inner left leg to the wall behind you. All those little wonderful tips to get the body as stable as possible, and then gradually going to the height that you know is your maximum height, yeah, or minimum. Get a full extension, take one fuller breath here. . the shoulders back. And for a moment, just get your breath while you observe the next pose. So I'm going to get a block, and I'm going to show this sideways, and then I'm going to perhaps show it to the front also. Just judge in the moment. We're going to do seated Marichyasana. Observe. If you're very tall, and it depends on the height of your chair, you might not need a block. I'm sitting with my feet slightly apart, upright. And actually, you'll see more if I do it from this side. So you will find your position on the chair so that you can hold the backrest, elbow into the leg, and from here you're going to twist to look at the ceiling. So we've created all this length in the side of the body so that we've got space to twist now. Okay, so your turn. So I'm going to turn to face you now. So you're going to place the block underneath your right foot. So I'll do mirror image. And you extend that left leg forwards. And you've got full pressure on that sole of the right foot on the block. Okay, so my feet are slightly apart to give me space, so they're more or less in line with my buttock bones. Sit upright, hold the seat of the chair. Now, as I go forwards, I take my left hand and I hold the seat of the backrest of the chair. Right hand goes up and I bring the elbow on the inside of that right leg. And I extend the crown of the head forward and start turning. So you continue to do that. So you've got your elbow on the inside, you turn, you lift your left shoulder to look towards the ceiling or the sky, wherever you are, and get that openness. So first of all, extend into the crown of the head with the inhalation and turn with that exhalation. Keep on doing this action. It helps so much to hold the backrest, to give your spine that openness and extension, and stability of elbow and leg into each other. They've got equal pressure. Abdomen is turning, chest is turning, shoulders are turning. Now extend for the last few moments into the crown of the head and turn. Then inhale, sit up. And put the block underneath your left foot and your right leg is extending forward. Remember the little gap between the two legs. Take hold of the seat of the chair, lift the spine. Inhale. As I take hold of the backrest with my right hand, I bring my left elbow on the inside. I extend on the inhalation, and remember you start twisting on the exhalation. Inhale, extend, exhale, turn. Inhale, extend, exhale, turn. Continue, get that maximum sense of openness and lightness in your body. Last little effort here. Churning the abdominal organs to really clean them, detoxifying them. And then inhale, extend the spine, turn, sit upright, and get your breath. Okay, so now we are going to move towards Chatuspadasana with the help of the chair. So you are going to have your chair into the wall. And you're going to be lying on your back. And let me just show you here. Feet onto the backrest, holding the front legs of the chair, and lifting, lifting, lifting. Really getting onto the tops of your shoulders, buttock bones in, and opening up the chest. The whole dorsal spine is coming in. And you are releasing any tension that you might have over the lower back area here.
come down. Okay, so get your position, lie down, and then put the feet on the edge of the chair. Now make sure that your buttocks are not too far away. You should actually be able to hold the front legs of the chair here. Pushing with the heels into the front of the seat. Lift up. Now roll onto the tops of your shoulders. And lift your buttock bones into the body. Abdomen to the spine. Be on the top of the shoulders. Settle them again. And just stay there for a moment. Now press on the 2 feet and lift more. Chest is moving in. And now lower vertebrae per vertebrae as you come out of this position. Get your breath when you're there. Exhale. On an inhalation, up you come again. Chatushpadasana, being on the top of your shoulders. Buttock bones in. Abdomen in. Take a full breath. And now vertebrae per vertebrae, lowering the body down. And for a moment, just stay with your feet over the seat of the chair. And take a few breaths here. This is such a wonderful position for the body to release, for the spine to feel supported. And then you're going to come off your chair, roll over to the right side and come up.
Now those of you that's got a folding up chair, like these Iyengar chairs that we use or yoga chairs that we use, you're going to fold it. If you don't have a chair that can fold up, you're just going to have a wonderful stretch like this, like we've done before, but with a very restorative mind. You're going to put your chair, you're going to fold it. The bottom part of the chair is facing away from you, and you're going to stand with your body into the wall, and you're going to put the backrest into the fold of your hip here, thigh and fold of the hip, the groin area. Hinge forwards, take my buttock flesh up, and I first stay in a halfway position here, and then from there it's a release. So I'm going to go into the pose with you. So first of all, you're going to stand well away from the wall. You bring the backrest of the chair in your fold of your groin here. And from here, you hinge halfway. Now take the hands and scoop the buttock flesh up towards the ceiling. Get your breath. And then from here, lift the chest. Extension, side, front and back body. And then just slide the hands down, 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 down. And then now the crown of the head just to release down. And stay here for a few moments. Get your breath, get that wonderful sense of release in the body. Deeper inhalation, fuller exhalation, and quietly walk your hands up the chair and then come out of the pose. Okay. So now you're going to have your chair in front of you, and you might want to sit on a foam or on a blanket, depends on what you need. You will know by now. Well, I'm going to get the blanket on the chair because for me I don't like cold. And let me show you here, you're going to sit with the legs crossed. And as I say, choose your height here. And from here, you're going to decide what the distance will be of the chair away from the body by trial and error. You've got to explore. You want the crown of the skin of the forehead on the edge of the chair, and the energy will move in this direction. You don't want your skin to pull up when the brain becomes active. So I'm tucking my chin slightly to the chest, and I'm here. So gradually you might feel that you might walk this chair a little bit further away to get a long front body extension. Okay, so get your chair, put your blanket on top. Now if you go forwards and there's no ways that you can reach, you put a stack of blankets or you put a bolster on top and you push that bolster maybe a little bit further away until you know you're there. Then you cross your legs on your support. Sitting cross-legged, buttocks are supported. Take your hands up. Stretch, reach for the chair. Find the two sides of the chair. Then you're going to place the skin of the forehead gently onto this chair, and you're going to tuck your chin to the chest and feel the skin of the face moving from the forehead towards the heart, not other direction. And for this few moments, you're just going to be quiet here. Relaxing the brain, be quiet with the breaths, get the calming effect of forward extensions with this wonderful support of the chair. Quiet and even breaths, tongue soft and relaxed. And that wonderful just sense of release. And focusing a little bit more on your exhalation breaths. And then from here, you're going to come up and change the cross of the legs. Readjust. Arms up, extending forwards. Tuck the chin slightly to the chest and rest the arms. And if you feel after a while that you need to move the chair a little bit further away because the body is releasing, you do so. Take 3 more breaths here. After the 3rd breath, you sit upright. And then from here, you make sure that you're warm enough. You've got a blanket on the chair already. If there's a bolster, take it away. You're going to lie on your back. Bring your legs over the chair. Tuck your tailbone, lengthen the spine, and you go for Shavasana. So make sure you put yourself in a very well placed Shavasana. The distance of the chair away from your body should be well thought of. Sometimes it's not good to have the knees directly onto the hips. You might want them a little bit more towards the chest, the knees. So get the distance right. Feel maximum length in your spine. Feel evenly balanced on the 2 sides of the body. And then in this position, you take a few deeper breaths. And you're going to stay in your Shavasana now for as long as you need to. Relax your chin, your mouth, have a soft smile on the face, and relax. I leave you like that, yogis. Namaste until we meet again.